once again, let there be trumpets. Once again, let there be trumpets. Once again, let there be trumpets. Once again, let there be trumpets.
I can tell you're looking at me, I know what you see. Any closer and you feel the heat. You don't have to pretend that you didn't notice me. Every look will make it hard to breathe.
process. It goes like this.
You've asked for it, you've begged for it, now you're going to get it.
soldiers, whose mission it is to establish and preserve freedom and justice.
Took an arrow in the knee. took an arrow in the knee.
All right, we are finally in round one here for DominateDominion.com's 17th weekly tournament. This is Chobra here with Gander. How are you, Gander? I can't hear you. I should be able to hear you now.
What?
There we go.
Does it work now?
Yes, we
Okay,
are
well,
in.
I exist.
And they already had the picks and bans through, so they're flying through it, so we won't have too much downtime here. There was just some technical difficulties, but no worries, we are now in. I wasn't actually able to catch the chat bans as
What?
For those of you who are new. I do see... I'm
So
not sure
I'm
if you're
seeing
talking about Katarina or Diana,
I am
but either
absolutely talking about Katarina, who is the most underrated champ. I think she's awesome pasta.
one. Before we get into the delay, do you have the chat bans? I wasn't able to catch it before they started the
Oh,
lobby,
they
so-
were Lulu and some stuff.
I saw Jace
When
in
I
there for
relogged, I
sure.
lost it from my screen.
Gotcha. So
There's Lulu, Jason, something and something.
alright, okay, actually I think I just got it. Bans were, let's see, Talon, Malphite, Pantheon, and then Poppy and Urgot were the... No, Poppy, Urgot, Rammus, no, these were the lobby bans. So, okay, I don't have a record of the chat bans, but that's okay. We'll have that ready for the later games in the night. This
Yeah,
is once
they
again...
happened. I just didn't get a chance to copy paste them before they
It's not
ended
a
the
big
game lobby
deal.
and went to the pick screen.
This is Pooty versus, is it TCWA or T... Yes.
Tiny champs with attitude.
Oh, that's
that
what it stands for.
stands for. And this is the round of 16 of the League of Legends Dominion tournament, brought to you by DominateDominion.com, powered by Cybersports Network. I'm happy to be here on a Saturday evening.
Yep. Alright, so finally going to the 3-minute delay. We so as you can see, the client bans were Talon, Malphite, Pantheon coming out from Pooty, and then Poppy, Urgot, Rammus coming out from TCWA. We already highlighted Katarina, a very unique pick. Excuse me. Not seen that often on really any map these days, mostly because of course, her being so subject to enemy CC. And then there's Diana, of course, also a very, very new champion. What do you think about these picks overall?
I'm going to be really interested to see how Diana does in Dominion. I haven't seen a lot of her. We know Vayne's sort of a diet caffeine-free version of Poppy. She has a lot of that wall stun thing going on. She's got good mobility with her passive, and, you know, Tumble adds a little bit of trickery to it. Soraka's a very good support champion. We know Darius he's bannable. He's just so good. Pooter's Zillion it's like Zillion times 2. It's way better than normal Zillion. He likes to do that back capping and keep the enemy from being able to get entrenched somewhere, forcing people to go off of points and have to deal with him. He's probably the best there is for that. Pretty solid team comp right there. Vayne looks a little fragile to me, but I don't know, it might be okay. And I haven't seen Diana enough to comment about her. However, looking at the other team, we got a Katarina pick. Katarina's getting remade, but she hasn't been remade yet. Now, the thing that I like about this team comp is Katarina's an AP damage hero. You don't see her a lot. And teams are liking to run this, you know, multiple AD bruiser with a heavy AP damage champion. Katarina is an extremely heavy AD damage champion, or AP damage champion, pardon me. And what you said about her being vulnerable to CC, if you look at the enemy team, they've got 1 silence, they've got 1 knockback, 2 knockback, and 3 knockback. But most of those are short-range abilities. I think Condemn and the Silence are the longest-range ability that they have there. So if she is in the right position in a team fight, she can kind of ult uninterrupted if she, you know, if her positioning is good. It really comes down to engagement being how you use Katarina. Jack's extremely good bruiser, so is Wukong. Kayle can be an absolutely nightmare if she's played well. She's really, really fragile. But the fact that she gets AoE AD damage with her, I forget the name of the ability off the top of my head, but the one that turns her auto attacks into AoE is extremely good, and Alistar is absolutely amazing. I just see Jax jumping in, stunning, Cat immediately following in with Shunpo, and just absolutely punishing someone. I see her being able to safely ult in the middle of a Wukong Cyclone, and people just not being able to interrupt her because, well, she's protected by Wukong. Alistar is right there to help out with that as well. As much as CC is her foil, if you can provide her with AoE crowd control that lets her deploy her ult effectively, she is an absolute nightmare to deal with because of her passive reset.
That is true. Yeah, I was gonna say, while the enemy doesn't have as many, long range or AOE CC, Cat's own team has good AOE CC. So if they can disengage the enemy, we have 2 AOE knockups. As you mentioned, there's the Jack stun from Counter Strike, and Cat comes in. That's gonna be a free ult, and that will be really devastating. Of course, aside from that, Cat is very mobile. Of course, has that blink if there's a target available, be it a friendly unit or an enemy unit. So that's going to be pretty good. But once again, we are loading into Pooty versus TCWA. This is Chober, and on the top team on the blue side, that is going to be Pooty. We have Wormy on Diana, Beanheart on Vayne, Ikis the Seraph on Soraka, Marzag on Darius, and Pooters on Zillion. And who do we have on the bottom team, Gander?
Well, in Dominate Dominion number 17, round of 16 game, the bottom side we have TCWA, which stands for Tiny Champs with Attitude. We have Hammerhead playing as Jax. We have No God Try Science playing as Katarina. The other one playing as Wukong. Shaboinker playing as Kale. And Ladies Night playing as Alistar.
All right, so both teams pretty much set to load in. We didn't have much time to touch fully upon summoners, but there's nothing too out of the ordinary other than the fact that, of course, there is no revive on Zillium, but you already mentioned that Pooters is kind of known for his own style of Zillion play per se, and we have loaded in.
I'd like to talk about Pooters real quick. He's got extremely good mobility with the rewind fast forward. He's got the Ghost Flash for even more mobility. He likes to get a Quicksilver Sash. He likes to get a Shirellia. He's extremely mobile champion. And are you loaded in?
Yes.
Installed load screen.
You might have to rejoin. We'll see. I'm still in the delay until the summoner platforms finish, and I do see that the
all right. I can just drop in spec, so
all right,
should be fine.
The chat bans were Lulu, Kassadin, Jace, and Yorick. They must have heard us talking and put it in the all chat for us to catch it as we load in. So there's the information. Yeah, out of that, nothing's too out of the ordinary either. Of course, Kassadin, very well known by a lot of people to be hated on the Crystal Scar. Jace has proven himself very strong, same as Yorick, and Lulu, of course, a very important support champion if you can pick her up in Dominion. Meanwhile, while we wait for Gander to be able to reconnect, summer platforms are still finishing. Starting items, we have a lot of prospector items, boots and pots. Pooters going straight for that boost of mobility on Zillion, and then Blow's Ghost right away is going to zip through the jungle area here. It's going to pick up that speed shrine, but we do see that Alistar is actually preparing next to the boneyard and is going to catch Zillion. Zillion tries to flash over, but does get headbutted and is now caught. It's not going to result in a death just yet, but it's going to result in a safe capture for Jax on the boneyard. Very good decision by Ladies Night to wait around for that. Zillion's still going to try to come around the back here, is going to start the back half as Diana tries to keep Jax busy. Does get the Crescent Slash down, however, Jax is going to get back to Zillion in time to block that, which means the top side fight right now is in a little bit of a disadvantageous situation for Team Pooty. However, they do pick up the first kill. Alistar comes in with a counter kill, and then Cat picks up another kill, finishes off the fight. It is 3 people left at the windmill for the red team. They should be able to capture that no problem. And so Pooty is going to pay for a little bit of that decision making they had with Zillion staying even longer to try to get that back cap. Still not able to succeed, but they do send Darius right back down here, and Jax is in trouble. Jax is going to go down, a guaranteed kill. They want to start channeling, but Jax comes right back up with the revive. Can he stop the channel? The neutralize does go down for Pooty, and Darius is going to turn right back down, try to damage down Jax, but Jax gets his counter strike onto Diana. Diana not in a good spot. Cat has already come down also, and Diana is trying to run away. There's the leaf strike, and the empower should be enough to kill. Darius almost going for the save with that pull, or the hook rather, but not going to be able to save Cat. However, he should be able to pick up another double kill here, and the minions also capturing the boneyard. So Pooty actually now has a interesting 3 cap, which are much more centered around the enemy's area.
Red team has captured the refinery.
We do see No God tries silence on Katarina, trying to recap the Boneyard, but it's not going to be so easy with Darius still there at very, very good health. Meanwhile, Pooters and Beanheart just kind of running around, waiting for Seraph to come back up here at the windmill on Soraka. It is going to help give the heal and also the armor buff onto Vayne, and they get on the tower right away. Vayne going to live through that fight with 128 health. Very, very close call. While Kale has come through the backside and captured the refinery, but the windmill goes down and neutralized. Meanwhile, there's a fight, 2v1 fight, going down at the drill. Zillion does finally go down, and Alistair is going to be able to capture that no problem. So a lot of tower trading going back and forth right away from the beginning. We do see that TWCA was pretty much prepared to try to counteract Pooter's Zillion. They seemed very well prepared, very well versed in how that was going to happen. Meanwhile, Diana trying to fight off Kale, but Kale uses the intervention, does pick up the kill under the tower, is going to go down to Vayne, but still was able to pick up one kill here at the refinery. Well, top lane, only Soraka left, or at the windmill rather, only Soraka left to guard it. It is going to be a 3v1. Vayne coming in from behind, but it's still only going to be a 3v2, and Soraka's actually going to go down right away. So if Vayne does not want to enter this fight, is going to back off smartly, and they're going to finally have to give up the windmill, leading back to a 3-cap for TWCA, and that's going to give them some time to catch back up. The scores are 452 to 407 right now, static until that windmill gets captured. While Pooters was spotted going through the speed shrine here in the middle, and it's just going to dance around this drill. Knows that Kale is there, trying to just watch out for a good time. Meanwhile, bot lane, a fight between Jax and Darius. Darius does get stunned, and Alistair comes in with a good combo of that headbutt and pulverize. They're going to pick up that shutdown, no problem. Credit going to Alistair, being played by Ladies Night, when Pooters is trying to just run back and forth, but Pooters really hasn't been able to do much other than be a little bit of a distraction. TWCA very well spread out, very well prepared to block that back gap. Nova tries to just follow through onto Beanheart to pick up that kill, but Diana jumps over the wall with her ult, picking up that kill and keeping Vayne safe. Vayne, however, will go down to Alistair. Alistair just picking up shutdowns left and right. Wormy trying to stay back and finish off the kill onto Kale. Alistair's actually going to ditch the fight, leave Kale to be finished off, and try to go block the cap on the windmill. Pooters finally does get a channel. Oh, the neutralize doesn't go down, and a quick garrison coming out to reheal that, so no one can come in and get a very, very quick neutralize. There was basically no health bar visible from my point of view on that boneyard, but the neutralize doesn't go down. They're able to recap it, or keep it capped with that garrison to heal up the tower. Windmill going back in favor of TWCA. Nexus scores are still pretty tight, 420 to 400, going back and forth, but TWCA, based on how far behind they were at the beginning of this match, they are catching up. Bot lane, Jax and Darius dueling out. Jax, however, is going to be at a disadvantage if they continue dueling. There comes the Noxian Guillotine. It's not going to do that much damage, not as many hemorrhage stacks as Darius would want, and Zillion's going to get away with his ultimate, and actually nothing else is going to happen down at the boneyard. Meanwhile, quite a few kills happen top, and the windmill will go back in favor of Pooty, and Pooter's finally being able to get a really, really good channel onto this drill. Can Katarina come in time to stop the neutralize? I'm not sure yet. Has the storm shield and does block the neutralize. Once again, it's the same situation as the boneyard, blocking it just barely. The health bar starts to inch back towards staying capped for TWCA. Meanwhile, Cat gets a good ultimate, and that's what we talked about. It's just so advantageous that red team actually has a ton of CC to be able to keep the enemy not locked down so that they can't interrupt, and they also are forced to stay for a good duration of Cat's ultimate. So Cat actually doesn't have to worry about being CC'd out herself as long as her teammates are around. They're now just converging around Soraka. Soraka's going to go down with no problem. Vayne has a storm shield, but it's going to be a 4v1 very, very quickly. Cat turns around, is going to pick up that kill, no problem. Kale actually picks up the kill credit, and TWCA will recapture the windmill.
Alright, what's the timestamp you're at?
I am at 7:25 and counting. 30
Cool. I have loaded back into the game after a technical issue there. Over by the speed shrine on the left side of the map, we have Shaboinker hanging out in the brush over there, catching Wormy, and they're just kind of walking by each other. Shaboinker decided to go off, but there we go. Wormy lands that and drops the ult and catches right on up to him there, chasing Shaboinker up back towards the top point, trying to retreat, unable to do so there. No God try science hanging out up at the windmill there by himself right now, unfortunately. Katarina's a very poor 1v1 defender. She really needs someone around her to support her. Otherwise, she's just going to get rolled over, and we might actually see that here. Unfortunately, Vayne coming in from one side, and nope, she's just going to use Soraka as a door and just walk away. Soraka is such a delightful door. Gonna be at that top point right there as they are using Vayne to zone Katarina away from the point.
Yeah, that was a very, very good move by Kat. Just waiting to find that target, knows that she was going to get surrounded, and actually uses that to her advantage to blink out. Katarina is actually going to port back to base, take this time to hopefully pick up some items here. It does have the recipes. Yep, there it is. We do see the Haunting guys. Pooters, meanwhile, is still kind of just caught in front of the enemy's base, keeping them distracted. And it has been working out pretty well despite Pooters not having time to channel on any towers fully. But he is going to get caught by Katarina here. Keeps trying to use his speed boost to continue on. Goes from Speed Shrine to Speed Shrine. Is just going to keep running away, and it's a wild goose chase. Two people stuck on Zillion, which means elsewhere on the map, Team Pooty should have an advantage. However, bot lane, we do see a massive initiative onto the quarry. TWCA does pick up the first kill, however, kill goes down instantly. Alistar also not in a good position. Hammerhand might be able to pick up a kill here. No, Vayne doesn't get a good condemn and picks up a double kill there for Pooty.
And that was a... you saw there at the bottom how Kayle was taken out pretty quickly in that fight. Kayle is a really fragile but really dangerous champion. She got caught in a bad spot there. Soraka is going to be doing an okay job up at the top here with her AoE being able to kind of clear creeps there. It's going to, help her out a lot with that. Now, Katarina can't really engage against Soraka because of the silence, as mentioned earlier. So she can't really dive that. But Alistar coming up at the point here, goes in, lands an okay airborne, but Vayne's going to go ahead and tumble on out of there. And now with backup, we're going to see if they can deploy that damage or not. Alistar gets condemned up against the wall there. Cat goes around the top because she knows that's where Soraka is, and she's going to catch Soraka with the ult, jump over the wall into the fight, put some extra damage on Beanheart, but Shaboinker is going to get exhausted trying to retreat out of that fight now that the point is neutral, taking a lot of damage. Wanted to get Beanheart down in the exchange, but was unable to do so. Pooty's team is going to pick up the point again.
Yeah, they did successfully get the neutralize for TWCA, but Cat still had taken too much damage trying to duel Soraka. In the end, was not able to help out with the rest of the fight too much. Pooters, meanwhile, has still pretty much just had Wu in a wild goose chase all this time, pretty much the entirety of this match. Finally, Wu does go in for the Cyclone, and Alistar comes in. They will be able to pick up the kill despite the revive from Zillion's ult. But the important part is Pooters is successfully distracting, at the least, a very, very important team fighter for TWCA, and sometimes more than one champion, which means elsewhere on the map, as I mentioned earlier, Pooty has a number advantage. No matter what, they should be able to turn the fights back around in their favor. Meanwhile, bot lane minions are trying to capture the Boneyard for Pooty. Jax does come and stop the push. Darius actually not in a very good spot. Jax is going to continue chasing. Darius will go down despite the Noxian Guillotine doing a ton of damage. Meanwhile, at the windmill, a good condemn going down onto Alistar. Vayne not even bothering to kite, knows that she can win that fight with the help of Diana. And Kayle just trying to port back from that top rush will be successful.
And you saw there at the top, Wormy at the end of that fight using his... I'm not familiar with Diana's abilities quite yet. Using her Crescent Strike there to check the bushes up at the top and see if there was anyone there, because if she had connected with that, she would have been able to ult into the bushes and take care of whoever was hanging out up there to snipe. And right now, Pooter's kind of applying pressure over by the drill, sort of making his presence known over there. And Wormy going to get caught there. Pooter's going to go ahead and jet back a little bit. Wukong going to get shut down. Ladies' Night retreating towards the tower right there. Kicks Wormy right on off of that point, though. Pooter's using the slow there to his advantage. Beanheart taking the hits, though, unfortunately. But Pooter's used his ult on Vayne. She's going to get up. She's going to back off. Her cooldowns are going to refresh, and she's probably going to turn around and re-engage. That's what we're going to see right here. Her in the bushes there. They're looking around. They want a bite out of Katarina there, but are they going to get it? It doesn't look like Cat is going to make a move like that. And we see Kayle cutting around on the other side of the map, going for the refinery here. Let's see if anyone's able to interrupt that.
Yep, Kayle has started the channel. Vayne does come down, uses actually final arrow to get that extra speed boost, and gets a good condemn onto those pipes right at the edge of the tower, and puts out a ton of damage. Is going to just continue chasing because the tower was not neutralized. Is putting out some good true damage with those silver bullets. Will pick up the kill, no problem. Nilgar Trisign is trying to come around, but I mean, with a good condemn, Vayne should be able to deny this, but in the brush, Vayne not able to get the interruption on the ultimate. Alistar tries to come back in, and Cat will finally be able to pick up the kill with Shunpo, cutting right behind Soraka. However, Diana is on the move, so Cat needs to watch out. Diana does miss the crescent sweep, but still has a ton of damage ready for Katarina. Will finally get another crescent sweep and onto that blink to pick up that kill. And now they're forcing Alistar to use his ultimate and run away. Still is able to stick to Alistar, and that's the really good thing about Diana. She's a really good chaser. She can stick to the opponent quite well with the ability to target someone with Moonlight on that crescent sweep.
Yeah, Ladies Night having to defend this tower now, and Kale cutting across the map along with Jax to try and get that point there. No God Try Science is Katarina doing the best defend, but Katarina is a very poor defender when unsupported. Wukong chasing Pooters away down to the other side of the map to going down there interrupting Kale, but Wukong's going to have to turn around. Alistar slaps that garrison down on the drill there to prolong its possession for the team, and Wukong, that's going to buy him enough time to show up. There's very good use of Garrison there to buy that time, and Exhaust is going to go down on him, unfortunately, but the tower is still held by TCWA.
Yeah, and Wukong single-handedly blocks him off until Katarina comes in with a good Death Lotus, but not able to finish off any one person just yet. Not going to get that reset early enough to continue on in the fight. Does get taken down, and Diana's actually going to be the lone survivor as Pooters comes in for assistance to try to cap this. The minions will in fact get the capture. However, Alistar does put up some good damage onto Pooters. Pooters runs away, but Diana actually keeps Alistar under the tower. Tons of tower damage coming down. Pooters lives with just a sliver of health, 50 health, and is going to get out of there no problem. Is still going to roam around, it seems, taking a very gutsy choice here and trying to get the channel down to Boneyard, knowing that that's going to force TWC to choose either the drill or the Boneyard as Diana comes down to help. Meanwhile, Jax and Darius dueling it out. Jax is not in a good position. The Hemorrhage snacks are just too much when you're in a 1v1 dueling situation.
And Shaboinker doing that backcapping thing, a little bit Pooters-esque there, going for the windmill now after having taken the refinery earlier. The newly returned to the field champions going after breaking up that fight at the bottom there, chasing after Wormy pretty hard there. Got that headbutt right there. Needs a good airborne. They get it. Wormy is going to go down. Pooter's going to turn around to harass Jax, keeping that point neutral just a little bit longer, keeping the score locked at 299 to 136 in Pooty's favor. But Katarina getting caught by herself over them. That's not a good position to be in. She's running around as best she can. She's just trying to kite around, buy time. Nice little jump right there. Ultimately not going to be enough to save her, unfortunately.
Yeah, so TWCA is trying to just make a comeback at 291 to 134. They do hold this 3 cap quite confidently. However, Windmill is in a little bit of trouble. Alistar needs to get up here as soon as possible because it is a 2v1. Of course, Kale is a pretty good defender, does have the intervention, and it is off of cooldown, so Kale's not going to be too worried. Vayne is taking a ton of his pulverize, will miss because of that tumble. Very well-timed tumble for Vayne. That would have been devastating. The headbutt does get Soraka against the wall, but here comes Wormy with Diana. Gets Moonlight onto both of the champions and is going to CC them. Nukes down Kale instantly. Alistar was forced to use his ultimate, but is still taking a ton of damage because of true damage from Vayne and also the burst from Diana. So all 4 of actually Blue Team's members are up top at the windmill. They do get the neutralize. Wukong trying to come up and get the interrupt. Not going to be successful. Gets pulled back by Diana. Here's an intervention from Kale, who just came back with the revive, and a full fight is going down. Diana, or Soraka actually has Brazilian. Now Vayne was able to kite around the fight and pick up those kills. Diana constantly doing some good burst to everyone with those AoE abilities. Gets a double kill, and wow, Pooty is going to come out on top confidently, getting that 3 cap, and Pooter's actually going to go ahead and distract Alistar here at the drill as Diana comes down.
Yeah, Katarina had a really good engagement there. However, someone had pocketed a CC to use just for her, so it was very unfortunate that they had planned for that. Ladies Night doing a good job. He's taking down Diana over here by the drill, is able to keep that point from being taken. It gets neutral, but he's going to pick it right on back up there. Bottom point was neutraled by Jax while all this was going on, and TCWA is forming up for another play at the top, although Wukong knows that Pooters is around here. He sees him. Pooters is going to get that flash. He's going to move right on out of the way there. Up closer to the windmill, however, No God Try Science taking a lot of damage there. Not quite able to get Beanheart down in the process, but Shaboinker is able to finish that up okay. However, a little bit too low on hit points, it seems, to be able to take out Wormy at the top, and Pooty is going to defend that point there. Wukong right behind, but I don't know if Wukong is ready for this. Alistar is coming up behind as well. We're going to have to see how it plays out.
Well, Wormy already put out a ton of damage and constantly doing so onto Wukong. Wukong goes down, and there's the heal from Soraka and the armor buff to keep Diana alive. Diana, of course, has that shield on a fairly good cooldown, and there's the CC to block the damage from Alistar. Wormy comes out alive from that fight with 60 health, and Pooty right now is in a really good situation, only about 65 points left on the red team's Nexus. And Soraka, of course, is going to be in a little bit of a hard position here trying to defend the windmill as two people come on top of Vayne comes in. They're going to pick up that kill, no problem. Meanwhile, bot lane, Jax does finally kill off Darius. Jax is going to start channeling onto the quarry as Pooters has kept TWCA distracted here at the drill once again. Wukong just cannot decide where to go because Pooters is just all over this drill. Cat and Wukong both once again distracted, staying here. Pooty actually going ahead and just running away from that, using the QSS to make sure that no CC comes through. Was a little bit of a preemptive move. Meanwhile, Soraka gets caught. Vayne trying to put out some damage from behind. And they're actually going to stop the chase on Soraka for a second, but Soraka will actually get sandwiched, not able to move out, and does get taken out as Vayne tries to make a getaway.
Yeah, and she might be able to do so depending upon how Alistar lands his, but no, he does land a good headbutt right there and is able to tag her on some terrain and get her locked down and able to secure that kill. Meanwhile, while that was going on, Katarina wisely pulling away from the group, saying that there was already two people pursuing Vayne that did not need a third one, broke off one person to go pick up the windmill. Very good play there by them. Soraka back on the field, poking her head out around the upper end of the map there. Pooter's getting chased away from the drill by the other ones. Wukong, Katarina taking that Storm Shield in the middle, but Diana's really close by. She's not going to go for that engagement right now. Pooter's pressuring on the drill again, and both teams both kind of active around the map looking for a spot which they can make a play.
Yeah, I mean, Pooty, if they can just make one more big play, they might be able to hold on to it long enough, and that may come right now here at the windmill. It is going to be a 3v2 still, and a little bit of a preemptive intervention, and Kat's going to go in afterwards to use her ult. Gets immediately bursted down. Just a little bit of miscommunication on the timing there between Kale and Katarina. Pooty is going to be able to capture this no problem, as Pooters himself is keeping Wukong busy once again. It's just pretty much been Wukong trying to chase around this Zillion this whole match, and it's been very unfortunate because Wukong would have just been of such great value for TWCA's team fight. It is a 2-to-1 cap. Jax trying to get the quarry here at the bottom, but Diana's going to interrupt that. They just want to keep it at 2-to-1 cap right now for Pooty. They don't need a huge lead. They just need to hold on to one, no matter how big or how small. Ignite going down on Pooters here between Cat and Alistar, and they're going to be able to take out Pooters. Can they pick up the Boneyard? It won't really matter because Diana has taken out Jax, and she's going to go in and capture the quarry. It really is only going to come down to see if they can pressure down another point, but they don't have much time. Only about 30 points left on their Nexus.
I don't think it was quite too wise letting Pooters go there. His ult just activating and being able to kind of run away. There was no reckoning, there was no Shunpo, nothing to catch him there. I think that's a really unfortunate slip for TCWA right there, and being able to immediately turn around and put pressure on the drill. However, going for the bottom lane over here, it's No God Try Science getting apprehended there, unfortunately. Diana landing her shot there, but Katarina jumping right out of the way, then getting pulled back. Lots of different movement affecting effects going out right there. Alistar trying to keep the point neutral over there as best he can, while Hammerhead cuts in to defend the bottom and kind of make Darius shy away from it a little bit. His ult is active right there, goes in, hits Ekis with that headbutt, but is going to go down. Top point is neutral as well. Pooters is up there at the top of the map. Beanheart with an exhaust is going to get taken out, and Pooters is just going to leave that point. Knows he can't 1v2 that. His talents are better served elsewhere on the map. And it looks like he's going to walk right into Wukong. Wukong, oh, doesn't see him right away. Pooter slips right on by, is able to get over to the drill. Clicks on that for just a moment before getting chased away. Bottom lane, however, Shablinker trying to 1v3 defend, not quite able to do so. That point is going to get neutral as Jack's going to get there in time to keep it neutral. We will see. He leap strikes into the fight, gets a nice stun off on Wormy there, but Soraka is down there to deploy that heal and that silence as well. Alistar with an airborne, though, gonna help Jax out a lot in that fight, helping him secure victory down there. It looks like throws down a headbutt on Soraka. She's gonna go down as well. But while this is going on, there's no one to defend the windmill.
Yeah, I mean, TWC has been doing a really good job of keeping this a stalemate and possibly ticking a little bit down away from Pooty with these kills. However, Vayne is finally getting the channel on up top. Kale will be able to get there, but not in time for the neutralize. It's going to be a 1v1 fight with no defender's advantage. There's the exhaust down onto Shaboinker on Kale. Kale does have the intervention, needs to try to get the kill, but a good condemn, and Vayne might be able to just jump back in here with a really well-placed tumble, but going to go ahead and start channeling that as the minions are here. Cat's coming through from behind, though, and a good Shampoo, and Bouncing Blade is going to pick up that kill. Boneyard has been taken back in favor of TWCA. Darius picks up the kill onto Jazz. Can Alistar live long enough to pick off Darius? I don't think so. Darius is putting out a lot more damage, but actually, no, Alistar is going to pick up that kill. Will the Hemorrhage stacks finish him off? Does not seem to be the case. So a 3-cap going back in favor of TWCA as 3 people try to make an aggressive move down onto the windmill, or 2 actually splitting off and going for the drill right now.
You can see Wukong hang around the middle of the map over there by that speed shrine. They've become aware of the Pooters. Katarina taking a lot of damage up top. There's really not a lot that you can do in a position like that. Kale trying to save her with the ultimate, but I think that ultimate would have been better served to save for another fight, as both of them are extremely squishy without Alistar and Wukong there to back them up, and especially with Pooters keeping Wukong out of these fights with the back capping. Things are not going so well for them up top. Ladies Night getting quickly taken out there is going to be Pooty able to secure the windmill. With Wukong on anti-Pooters duty, as it were, he's not really able to deploy that tankiness and disruption in fights like he really needs to be doing. Kale, I think, is a much quicker champion, might have been a little bit better suited to be dealing with Zillion in this instance. And Pooters heading up towards the drill once again. Wukong having to chase. Kale breaking off and going for the windmill while this is happening. See if they are able to get that. There's an engagement down on the bottom. Ladies Night going down again. Vayne is absolutely great against tanks. And we're really seeing that here against Alistar, but the clock's ticking down.
Wow.
It's neutral right now by Kale. It's going to come down to this bottom point and this top point. Who's going to be able to capture what? No God Tri-Science is going down there for the bottom, but Cat's a little too fragile to try and pick this fight, especially with Vayne there.
That should be game right there, as no one else, as you mentioned, was available to block off this neutralize here at the Boneyard. That is game 146-0. Pooty takes the victory, but TWCA putting up a really good